taxing physically and mentally. Just hard, like dentistry's hard.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another vlog of a week in my life as a dentist. My name is Haley if you're new here, or Dr. Haley in the dental setting. So it's Monday morning and I'm getting ready to go into work for another week. I work Monday through Thursdays in an awesome office in Southwest Michigan. So I'll take you through a little bit of my morning routine and try to show a bit of my day. Today I know that I have a limited exam followed by an appointment for, I believe, 2 restorations and a crown, all for the same patient. And then we'll have lunch, and then after lunch I'm doing a restoration and extraction for a patient and a few more appointments for fillings and limited exams. And this is also the first time that my fiance is coming into the office as a patient. He'll be doing a new patient experience and seeing the hygienist in the office. So I'll be able to pop in and see him after lunch while I'm going through my normal work day. I usually make a coffee in the morning. I don't actually drink most of it at home, but I do pop it in a to-go container and take it when I'm driving to work. And then I made these freezer prepped breakfast sandwiches, except instead of using sausage, I just made my own version with ground turkey to be a little bit healthier, and then an egg sheet recipe that has veggies in it as well. And then I used whole grain English muffins. And here's everything I'm bringing to work for lunch. I just have leftovers from dinner last night. I throw ice packs in this bag. I always keep a protein drink in there, and then other miscellaneous snacks that I'll keep in my bag or in the fridge at work. Most of these, other than the actual like food container, I don't eat every day. I just like to have them in case I want them between work and going to the gym, or if I do feel extra hungry that day, I just keep them kind of on hand. And then now that it's Monday, I'm just like resetting all the little extra snacks and things. And then like last week, someone forgot food for one of our after work meetings. So like I gave some food to her. So then now I'm replenishing things. But it's just about that time at 7 o'clock once I'm done eating breakfast and everything and I'm all dressed for the day. I do my skincare, brush my teeth, and then head out the door to go to work at 7 o'clock pretty much every single day. Happy Tuesday. I showed you guys a really good amount of work before lunch yesterday where I did that crown case. After lunch, I went for a walk because we have a full hour and that's a really long time that I don't necessarily always need. So I usually sit with the team and eat lunch for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then yesterday I went for a 20-minute walk before we had to be back at 1. And we also got those cute gifts for 4th of July. Everyone in the team got them. The office manager put them together for us. So that was really cute and like above and beyond sweet. And it was just kind of to get everyone excited because we have next week off for the 4th of July. They do that every year. So it was a really nice time to start work, being 3 weeks in June, and then the month is over and I get a week off already. We don't have another week off, I think, until like Christmas time. So it's kind of funny that I'm spoiled with 3 weeks of work and a whole week off. I'm not sure when the next time I'll take off is. Honestly, probably will be Christmas time. I don't think I'll take any extra days off. Maybe like one of those Thursdays that are already a shortened day at some point in the fall if I need to do any traveling, but that might even be traveling for dental CE, not even like personal reasons. But that's a little side note about time off in the office and everything that I'm expecting. I really want to be there as much as possible because I want to be learning and improving my skills as quickly as possible. I did get some questions on Instagram, like why did I choose to work 4 days when a lot of new grads, either financially or for their skill set, are going to work 5, maybe even 6 days. For me, I would rather start out in a way where I'm not going to get burnt out. And in my particular office, I'm very busy when I'm there in a way, again, that's sustainable. It's not 5 patients at once, but it's good, steady flow and a mix of procedures, including those high production procedures. So I don't really need to work extra financially, given that it's a fee-for-service office and they have a really great structure on collecting all the money that we would get from doing the dentistry that we do. So financially is not really necessary. And then in terms of skill set, I feel happy with my decision. I know I'm growing my skills a lot because I'm in a great office with mentorship and that supports continuing education courses as well. So I personally don't have any worries about that, and I'm very happy to be working 4 days, of course, and I don't think I would ever want to work more than 4 days unless I absolutely have to, but that's not in the plans for my future. If anything, when I have kids, maybe I would even go down to 3 days for a few years when they're younger before they end up in school. But it's not on the radar quite yet, given that I'm still just engaged. But that is a little rundown and answering one of your questions. Again, it's Tuesday, so I'm going to head into work soon. We're doing headshots for the new website, so I have a little bit more makeup on and stuff, which made my morning routine a little bit more rushed. So I'm actually running kind of short on time. So I will head into work. I know in the morning I have a kid for extractions, a kid for fillings, and then I have a filling and a crown. And then after lunch, I believe we're doing another crown and also maybe a core buildup. And then I know I have at least one more little kid today. And then of course, like spurts of limited exams and periodic exams as they come up. And then sometimes in the chair for any of my scheduled patients or for those limiteds, we might end up doing more work if we see more things to be done and there's time to do it. So we always try to be as time effective as possible for the patients that came out to these appointments. So that's kind of what's on the agenda today. Okay guys, I just walked in the door. I have a lot of feelings I want to share because I feel like often, most of the time, when people are asking how work is going, it's amazing, I love it, it's really fun, it's definitely challenging, of course, but like each day, for the most part, I feel good. Today was not one of those days. It went good. It went probably better than some of the appointments that I've had in the first 2 weeks. However, the overall internal feeling of the day was just me internally feeling kind of upset and frustrated with myself, not because I did any bad dentistry, but because I am being really hypercritical, because that's what dentists do and that's what people that are learning and growing at something have to do to get better. And even though I can look at the work I did today, specifically this is mostly with crowns, I would say everything else I've done so far, extractions and restorations, have so far been smooth, even on the more challenging ones, versus these crowns have been fairly challenging, I would say. And it's mostly my speed that I'm frustrated about. And there's not really anything particular that I can do about it other than keep working and working through it. And I'm just being really critical about like all the little details of it, because of course you want to be as good as possible because you want to do the best quality work for people because you really, really care. However, you have to look at the big picture of the fact that this is in this case, a tooth with disease. It's got a cavity still, giant old filling, might be fractured from that. Like it's a very compromised tooth, and going in and doing this crown, even if it's not to ideal standards normally, it's the ideal for this tooth because it's gonna be, might maybe be a wonky shape, wonky margins. It might be the person has a more unique occlusion, so you have to reduce it more than ideal again. Maybe it's shorter than ideal, things like that. So it's just like in your head working through, like, I hate that this is not
what I want it to look like, but nothing is cookie cutter in dentistry on real patients. And again, like the tooth is in the situation from years and years and years and years of things happening. And again, possibly disease or other things going on. So what I'm doing is helping, and it's putting them in a better place than when they came in. However, you're still gonna be a perfectionist about it. And that's like what I'm really struggling with, and just like wanting to see even quicker progression from myself, because I look back to the crowns I did last week, and each time, knowing that it was the first ones I was doing at this office, I was expecting some bumps in the road, some things I would want to improve for the next one, for the next one, for the next one. So maybe it was, oh, I'm gonna draw my margins a different way next time. I did, it was better. Oh, well, now I'm still dealing with having to reduce the interproximals too much after it's milled, and that's annoying, and I want to get it spot on when I'm designing it in the CEREC. Okay, today, everything was pretty much spot on and the margins were good. However, there's just like always something you can critique. So even though I've improved that element of things, I'm still like, I just want to get in there and be like, this is so easy, love dentistry, but it's not. And I'm just like frustrated that it still feels hard. Even though I'm confident in my ability to get it done, and I was happy with how it looked. Again, it's a tooth that needs a crown. It's not always gonna look beautiful, but you can get those parameters that you need for a good crown. But it's like the act of getting to that point that still feels very taxing physically and mentally, and just hard. Like dentistry's hard, and I don't know if it's ever gonna feel easy. It just might feel easier, or maybe it's like other bad things in life where you just get used to how it feels. Not saying that I dislike dentistry by any means, but it's challenging. And I was at a point of being frustrated, like, why is it so challenging? Because little moments of doing a filling or little moments of doing an extraction might feel hard, but it's like a small speck of most of the time, yep, just doing what I do, versus these crowns at this point feel hard. Like the whole time I'm just like wanting to get to the end result quicker and quicker, but it just doesn't work like that. So I just have to keep up with more appointments and doing more crowns. That's how you get better at something, is doing more. So it's not even that what I'm doing now is substandard or not good. It's just that I personally have a very high bar for myself, and I want to hit that every time, and I want every little parameter to be good, and I want to do it really fast. And you can only do one thing at a time. So from appointment to appointment, I'm doing a lot of self-critiquing and really looking at my own techniques, again, with the clinical, but also with the CEREC and the design and the milling and everything. And I've just slowly been picking one thing to focus on and improve. And I have noticed that's helped by breaking down like one thing at a time that I want to get better next time. That has helped, but I'm just at a point where I'm frustrated and annoyed that it feels hard, to be honest. So I don't know if there's a better word than like it feels hard, it feels challenging, because don't want it to imply that like I can't do it. If it was easy, everyone would do it, and that's why I've gone to school and paid all this money and got all this education so that I'm the one that knows how to do it. But that doesn't make it easy. That's kind of where we're at. I'm probably gonna cut a lot of this jumbling, chatting down, but I just wanna put this in here like in the moment when I'm feeling it, just to tell you like you're not alone if you worry about that, or you feel this way, or you feel frustrated. Maybe it's a different type of procedure for you than it is for me, but it's very normal, and it just takes time. I'm like 2.5 weeks in. Once you've done hundreds and hundreds of something, it's sure gonna feel a lot better than it does right now. So I just have to keep working, and I use time at home. If there's anything that I feel like I wanna get better on, I'll look up some videos, watch CE on something. I might look at some more crown stuff tonight. I watched some stuff last week for some more tips, and eventually I'm gonna go to in-person CE that my office will send me to, but we want me to do some more in the office so that I really know like my specific issues or areas I struggle, so that I can get more out of the course rather than going in a little bit more blind. I might not have as many takeaways, so it'll be a little bit better of an investment if we wait a little bit longer. So I'll probably go to that in the mid to late fall. But that's where we're at on Tuesday. I didn't film anything just because the day felt a little like stressful. Again, everything turned out good. I was happy with everything, but just like as the day was going, it was stressful, and that's okay, and that's life. And again, like, it's called a practice of dentistry for a reason, because it's always practicing, always improving, and going back to that, if it was easy, everyone would do it kind of thing. So I just have to give myself grace, which I think I was really good at the past couple weeks, knowing like, oh, you're just starting. But like, now that I'm on my third week, for some reason, I think there should just be like instant level up, like, but it's gonna be slow progression, and it's gonna slowly get better and better and better, which it has. But for some reason, I'm just like choosing to focus on the negative. So I'm trying to work on it, but that's real, and that's kind of how life is some days. So I wanted to share that with you all. Hopefully tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be even a little bit more busy. I'll also have a morning and an afternoon crown, but I have a patient before the morning crown with a bunch of fillings. So I'll be very busy, and I have other patients beyond that too, but I have what I had today plus extra, basically. So hopefully all those go well, and if I'm in good spirits, I will try to get some blog clips throughout tomorrow. Just really want to take it like one step at a time, little by little, and try to give some positive self-talk and encouragement to myself that I just gotta take it little by little. And I really appreciate, again, like my office and my team and the doctors there, because they're so encouraging and supportive. And like, I had the same conversation with them about like the things that I have a hard time like mentally working through with these cases, and they were super supportive, so that helps as well. All of that considered, it still didn't make me feel better. Like, I still feel kind of down in the dumps. So I'm gonna have a evening to just feel the feelings and reset tomorrow, and it's gonna be a good Wednesday. Wednesday is over. I'm back from work and the gym. I'm making dinner right now. I have some leftover from last night when I did some meal prepping for the week, and then I'm just making some sides to go with the protein. I will film a little bit tomorrow. I don't have much going on in terms of patients. With the whole onboarding process, they didn't know when I would get my license, so some days there was more free space than others, and tomorrow was pretty much all booked up already because we're going on break next week. And a lot of the assistants and staff extended the break by taking tomorrow off, since we're usually closed on Fridays anyways. So therefore they couldn't really add in extra patients for me because there wouldn't be enough assistants. So I'm still there. I'll be doing a lot of hygiene exams, and I think I have one restorative and one limited. So very, very chill, slow day, but great way to ease into the holiday. Today was a lot better, if you can tell by my spirits. I had 2 more crowns today and a full set of restorations that went really well. I had 2 patients with sinusitis come in, worried that they had tooth issues, but we took our CT and could see for one of them super, super intense sinusitis, like almost the entire sinus cavity was full of inflammation. Then the other was a little more moderate, which was kind of weird to see the same thing twice in one day, but that can happen. And I had a few other limited exams. Of course, I did some periodic exams with the hygiene patients. I barely even remember the rest of the day, honestly. Mix of crowns and fillings. It was a busy, busy, go, go, go kind of day. I felt a lot more happy with my process going through these crowns compared to yesterday. I just felt like I wasn't using the right burrs because they're different than the ones we had at school. They're still diamond burrs, of course, and like a chamfer, but they're different, like coarseness and just different options. So I felt like I was more successful today getting things done in a good systematic flow and efficiently compared to yesterday, but yesterday's were just a little more complex teeth too. So that just goes to show that a mix of thinking, preparing, always trying to improve, as well as situational is really gonna get you the best result. Just doing your best with what you can at every single situation. I'm back from work and I came home on Thursdays. I usually come home to eat lunch and then go back out to go to the gym. So all that's done. My sister's visiting, so she's actually working in our upper level and I'm in one of the lower level guest room / office rooms that we have, and we're working on getting it set up for Justin to work down here. So it is a little bit crazy at the moment. So I'm finishing building the desk. Him and I built the bulk of it here. However, it has like a little shelf that goes around. That's the only thing left. So I am gonna try to put that up just so that it's done. I'm just organizing and putting things away. I still need to get a frame for my dental school diploma here. Can you believe that this piece of paper was like $250,000? Am I right? It is craziness. And then I already have my undergrad degree hung up, super cute. So I was debating if I want to get a similar frame for this one where I can put my little grad tassel with it, because I just think that's cute and like a little bit more of a memento to have hung up than just the piece of paper. And then I also have, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with these, but I was awarded 2 awards at graduation, and one was the AGD Student Award, and then the other one was the ASDA Student Excellence Award. So basically, nationally per school, one person gets the award for these different, sometimes they were scholarships. In my case, they were just a pat on the back and a piece of paper, but nonetheless, still an honor. So I'll put these somewhere, definitely not gonna hang them up, but I have kind of like a memento box from high school, college, undergrad, so I'll probably toss them in there. But this is probably where I will end off the video. I didn't film anything at work today because I only had 2 patients. One was 4 restos. They were OLs, OB kind of thing. And then I had a couple exams, and then the rest of the day I was really just watching the other 2 doctors and also watching the assistants, because a lot of our patient experience is very led by the auxiliary team, not just the doctors. So our assistants and our treatment coordinators and our front desk do so much of the work before the doctors even get in the room. So I was observing them as well through their process and kind of how they talk to patients. And the biggest thing, like I mentioned in the podcast this past week, if you're not listening, was kind of about overcoming like communication hurdles and things like that. So I like to see how the team who's more experienced and trained answers certain questions, or like deals with more like combative patients who are more negative or maybe more insurance driven or just more skeptical, things like that, where you really have to work to get them to see what we're seeing and to care. So I really liked observing them today, and I learned a lot, even though maybe I didn't produce a lot because there wasn't a lot on my schedule. It doesn't mean I didn't gain a lot from it. But yeah, this has been a very honest and real week in my life. I know I didn't get a ton of footage at work, but more so just telling you how the emotions and experience and everything is going from week to week to week. Coming up this next week at the first week of July for the holiday, we're off, and then we'll be back. I think I'll be working, like I said, until Christmas. So it's gonna be a lot more content, and I will try eventually to film another sit down Q&A about like a dentist life adjustment and everything, but there's definitely gonna be podcasts in the meantime. So make sure you're following along on Dental Download Podcast. New episodes every single Monday. I haven't missed a Monday in over 4 years now. We had our 4-year anniversary back in April. So make sure you're following along on the podcast as well. And then my own Instagram is Dr. Haley DDS. So check all that out to stay up to date for when there is not YouTube content. But with all that said, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.